That turmoil upbringing would be the best part about me and the worst part about me. I was never going to be told what to do, but every creative feels like they've got the greatest idea. But I'm going to tell you, I've got the greatest idea. I realised really quickly 100% of nothing is nothing. This is the Promisingpreneur podcast. I am Aahliyah Amerat. And you're probably thinking, well, who the heck is that? Well, I'm an entrepreneur first, a speaker, a motivator, an all-round creative through and through. And I feel like I have a story to share. I've got knowledge to share. I've got questions to ask. And this is the means that I feel like it's gonna bang. So, I've come from real humble beginnings. The humble beginnings being quite a turmoil, kind of traumatic background. Mum's side was quite poor. Dad's side was quite wealthy. Then we had two different juxtaposing beliefs, two different juxtaposing cultures and religions. And it was crazy because that turmoil upbringing would be the best part about me and the worst part about me. It gave me a sense of understanding that life is a contradiction and not everybody believes the same things, but there's good and evil in all different types of people. And I was able to see that at a very young age, right? I decided quite early on that I wasn't meant to be forced into anything. I wasn't meant to be told what to do. I was never going to be told what to do. And because of that, I, at a very young age, at 16 years old, decided to go into business. I decided that I didn't want to go to college, nor did I want to go to university, because my experience of going to institutions that educated people was traumatic. I didn't feel like I got what I needed out of my teachers, even though I had some amazing teachers. Let me not say that it was all bad, but I didn't get to spend enough time with any of my teachers because I went to 3 different secondary schools. I went to 3 different primary schools. No, 2 different primary schools, 3 different secondary schools. So it was just all over the place, right? Straight after that, I realized that I wanted to have control over my life. And the control that I wanted in my life was way more important to me than dealing or conforming to what I was told. So here we are. We fast forward time and I'm, how old am I? 27 years old. I've started a few different businesses. I didn't go to uni, I didn't go to college, but I made a success of my first business or second business. I don't even know what number business it was, to be honest with you. I decided to start a salon. I was a creative director for numerous up-and-coming artists. I spent my time styling up-and-coming artists and also some well-established artists. I spent my time doing semi-permanent lashes and getting really, really good at beauty, which then propelled me into starting my own salon and training academy. And from a very, very young age, I was quite interested in teaching people business and motivating them and inspiring them, but through something that they were more inclined to want to know about, right? So I used to teach women, or should I say girls, young girls, about business and motivating them to come out of their disadvantaged situations via beauty. And that for me was ridiculously fulfilling. It allowed me to be able to, at 16, 17 years old, or not, 17, 18 years old, go on like I was the Don Dada and the boss. And it really allowed me to build a massive amount of confidence at a really young age. So yeah, fast forward time, I'm now 27 years old. I will go into deeper about my backstory in the episodes to come. But for now, I want to tell you exactly what the Promisingpreneur podcast is about. why I've decided to do it, what is important about it, and really just share my truth, right? Share the realness and the authenticity that I feel like the world lacks sometimes, a lot of the time. Yeah. So the Promisingpreneur podcast, what is it? It's me seeing myself as a promisingpreneur. The name has come from the wildest story, to be honest with you, and I'll go into that in a second. But Promisingpreneur is a combination of promising entrepreneur. Simple, right? But a promising entrepreneur to me is me. Somebody that I know, as in I know I'm going to make it, right? I know that the type of entrepreneur that I am, I have the tenacity and the courage and the drive and the willingness to do whatever it takes within reason to get to where I want to be. And there's many promisingpreneurs out there, and I have come across a few in my lifetime, and I'm also yet to come across a lot more. So I decided to start interviewing them, start learning from them. I got really inspired by Stephen Bartlett and the Diary of the CEO, and also a number of other different podcasts, but that one kind of stands out at this point in time. But I got really inspired by the real down-to-earth, holistic conversations with entrepreneurs and what it takes, their mindsets, their journeys. Speaking about that was, like, for me, I do it on a daily basis. But this time around, I'm like, the conversations that I'm having, do you know them times when you're on the phone to like your friend and you're having these conversations and you end up talking the world of sauce, and you're like, wow, if this was recorded, it would have been perfect content. And that happens so many times. I just thought to myself, okay, screw it. You've just got to do this now. Like, you've been talking about getting your word out there for so many years, and getting the things that's kind of all up in my mind, kind of scrambled up all the time, getting that out there. I've thought about putting it out on numerous occasions and dibble-dabble in social media and things like that, but nothing that's long form. And obviously podcasting and YouTubing and long video content is like, people are listening now. Like, podcasts are just increasingly valuable to a lot of people, and I know for myself it's been really, really valuable. So the Promisingpreneur podcast is for me to be able to speak to different entrepreneurs that I believe, and also my team, because I've decided to build a team around this now. Me and my team believe to be the next promising entrepreneurs of this world. We want to talk about the journey to 100,000. And the reason why we want to focus on the journey to 100,000 is because there's so many podcasts and stories about the quick 0 to 1 million in a year. And you're just like, 0 to 1 million in a year? How the heck did you get to your first 100,000? And there were so many times that I listen to these podcasts and I'm so inspired, and I'm so like, yeah, like, that could be me. And then I speak to somebody else and they're like, oh no, I don't even listen to it because it's just, you know, it's too far away. And I'm like, too far away? When someone said that to me, I thought to myself, because I was talking to a friend about it, about a podcast that we'd listened to. And she turned and I was just like, it's just so far away though. Like, it's great. The idea of all of that is great, but it's just too far. And I thought, so what is it that you want to listen to? And in that conversation, it then came out to like, well, if you're going to get to 0 to 1 million or 0 to 500 million in X amount of years, how the heck did you get to your first 100,000? How did you get your first 10,000? How did you get your first 1,000? Like, the real grassroots of the journey, right? Because you hear the 0 to 1 million and you're like, right, you've done X, Y, and Z. And there's always about the mindset of just go, 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 go. But the times that you forgot about your family, how did that make you feel? The times that you had to think about your business before you thought about your friends or thought about the connections and the deeper connections in life. Like, how did you feel in those instances? And is that what you had to go through? Did you have to shut everybody off to be able to get to the stage that you're at? And no one talks about that part, right? And that's why I think the Diary of a CEO really inspired me to just get this done. Because it was really going to some of the grassroots, but I still feel like there's some things that's just a bit too unattainable for the average person. So I want to speak on those topics. I'm also going to speak and introduce you to the life that I'm living and the journey that I'm taking in being a startup founder. I'm starting a company called CREATALAND, which is a game that's built within the metaverse for creatives. And it is a journey and a half. And I've only just started that journey, and I want to be able to document that journey and let you know what I'm really going through at the time of me going through it. Because I just think that it will be able to support and help the next budding entrepreneur, the next promising entrepreneur that's stepping up into the world and wanting to do something that they feel like they possibly shouldn't be doing, right? Because there's so many times that I feel like I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I want to talk about the experiences and the teachings and the reflections that I have that could possibly trigger something in you, motivate you and inspire you. And also the other promisingpreneurs that I speak to will be able to trigger something in you, inspire you, motivate you, give you a perspective that you probably never thought about before. But we're going to go a bit more grassroots. We're going to be real, we're going to be vulnerable, we're going to be raw. Well, I'm definitely going to be real and vulnerable and raw. I mean, that's all I know. But I'm going to try and get that out of the people that are around me also. The idea of Promisingpreneur, I had it for years, not Promisingpreneur, but the idea of talking and putting out a podcast or putting out a YouTube channel and doing all of that, I had years ago, like honestly, years and years ago. I even, embarrassingly, done a few episodes of my own YouTube channel, tried to like do the editing thing probably about 5 years ago maybe, and it was terrible. It was terrible. I look back at it now and I'm like, what was you doing, child? But the idea of Promisingpreneur came from a really random day. I felt like I was trying to work out what this podcast was going to be about for about 3-4 weeks, and it just wasn't clicking. Nothing was clicking. I was like, there's no point me doing this if it's not gonna be real and raw and something that I really want to talk about, something I want to kind of push out there to the world, right? And if it's not going to be valuable, I'm not doing it. So I was really struggling with what value I could be able to bring and what value I could provide for you guys listening. And me and my partner went to Birmingham. We went on a little road trip to Manchester, Birmingham, and I think, and then London. And we went to a couple concerts. And on the drive to Birmingham from London, I was talking to him about it, and I thought, I really want to do this. No, not on the drive to Birmingham, on the train, because I took the train up and then he drove up. But on the train, I was talking to someone, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking about the whole thing, right? And it just wasn't coming to me, at all, and I just got really frustrated with it. And I thought, you know what, this whole weekend, I'm just not even going to bother think about it, forget it. Decided to go and enjoy myself, live my best life, shake a little batty or whatever, right? And I ended up on the drive with my partner to Birmingham from Manchester, ended up coming up with a name randomly. Like, it was just completely random. We wasn't talking about it. I think we was just singing along in the car. We was talking about something else, whatever. And the name Promisingpreneur came to me. And I thought to myself, wow, reflecting on that, I realized how much, because I'm a creative, and when I'm in a creative state, or a creative flow, I like to stay in that flow, and I don't like to break myself away and kind of go for a walk and all the things that Instagram tells you. I don't like to do any of that. I don't like to step out of that creative zone because I feel like I'm not going to get it back again. So I was quite hesitant to spend a whole weekend away and not kind of work on the business and not work on my ideas and things like that. And I realized in hindsight that that was the best thing that I could have done. Stepping away and completely forgetting about the pressures and the trials and tribulations and the ambition and the goals and just the focus, trying to step away from that hyper-focused tunnel vision feeling, right, allowed me to come up with this concept so clearly and so easy. Like, I remember getting to the hotel, my partner's gone to take a cute nap, and I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. I was just there. I was on my phone. I was just tapping away at my notes, just talking about, talking to myself about what this podcast is going to be. And then I came up with, honestly, I think the greatest idea. But every creative feels like they've got the greatest idea. But I'm going to tell you, I've got the greatest idea because no one's doing this. I haven't seen it happen, so you're going to hear it here first. The Promisingpreneur podcast is going to release Promisingpreneur NFTs. Now, if you don't know what an NFT is, it's a non-fungible token, which essentially is a verification. It's an image or a video or an audio clip. It's a piece of something digital, right, that is recorded on the blockchain and can never be taken away. That is the easiest thing that I can say to you about what an NFT is. The technical people are probably going to like slew me for saying it in such simple terms, but that's basically what it is, right? Now, the Promisingpreneur NFTs is going to be put out into the world probably about August. And what it's going to be is going to be a set of utilities, which basically means if you purchase this NFT, you will be able to gain direct access to the promising entrepreneurs that have been on this podcast, which basically means if you are a budding entrepreneur, if you're a creative, if you are a person that is just interested in somebody, if you admire somebody, the people that I have on this podcast are those people, are experts within their fields, are entrepreneurs, are creatives, are influencers, are people that have exceeded over 100,000, so they are doing very well within their businesses, whether they've just started or they've been doing it for a while. And I'm going to have a few people that's well over exceeded 100,000 because everybody obviously cares about the money. The Promisingpreneur NFT scheme is going to be an all-access pass to learning from the best, to learning from the experts and receiving inside knowledge, something that you're not going to get for free, something that you're not going to gain from watching YouTube, you're not going to gain it from the podcast. Actually being able to shadow somebody, actually being able to be an intern with that person, actually being able to learn and ask questions directly to that entrepreneur for you to be able to become better. And the best part is, as I said, this NFT is recorded on the blockchain, which is a verification for your experience, which essentially means that you can then put it on your resume and it will be proof that you have received this knowledge and you have experienced something that a lot of people will never be able to experience, right? So I've got entrepreneurs, creatives, experts in tech, in influencing, social media influencing, in music, in art, in technology, in 3D printing, in music, I said that already, but in film, entrepreneurs that are within the venture capitalist area. So people that have a load of money to be able to invest in startup businesses. I mean, the conversations that I'm literally having are wild, right? And it's what you really want to get in on if you're looking to level up. So this Promisingpreneur NFTs will be your all access pass to leveling up in 2020 and beyond. Now, I'm probably thinking, am I doing this all myself? No. I'm somebody that learns from their mistakes, and I can let you know that I tried to do business by myself for a long, long time, and it wasn't the greatest experience. I had to learn by myself, and I had to deal with imposter syndrome and not know that I was dealing with imposter syndrome. I had to deal with depression and anxiety all by myself, and those feelings could have been the pivotal points that broke me, but it didn't. Thankfully, with gratitude, I could say that it didn't. What it did do was make me sit down. I had to pipe down a few times, and I had to really look at myself and look at where I wanted to go and who I wanted to be and who I wanted to become. And I realized that the type of person that I want to become, I need to be able to delegate. I need to be able to share my experiences. I need to be able to share my business with somebody else, to be able to not have to deal with the burden and not have to deal with burnout, because those are the things that comes with being extremely ambitious. So I realized really quickly 100% of nothing is nothing. So I decided, when starting or thinking about doing Promisingpreneur properly, I sought out a team. I sought out it's just a couple of us. I have a director and a videographer who is literally behind the camera doing the most. A video director and someone that just supports me when it comes to visual creations and understanding and knowing about lighting and understanding and knowing about microphones and sound and quality and all of the things that I'm not an expert in. I've decided to sort out that expertise. Then I've also realized where I lack, and I lack in the administration side of things. So I've brought on somebody else that is really supporting me with the nitty-gritty of the administration. I'm talking dealing with guests, looking for research on the guests, being able to research on all different aspects of what this podcast is going to require to grow, right? So we're looking at funding that we can receive. We're looking at the type of people that is coming on. We're interviewing the people before they come onto the podcast, so we know that they are quality people and they are somebody that's going to provide value. We're just delving deep into the organization and not seeing this as a game. This isn't a game. We want to make sure that you are receiving ridiculous amounts of value from this. So the quality is top notch because I have visuals by DA. The organization is top notch because I have Felicia, who is Riche VA, my virtual assistant that literally does everything, but she's not so virtual because she just has to be around me. Her energy and everything is just top tier. So we're going to hear a little bit from them, and I'm just excited. I'm really, really excited to go on with this podcast and just share everything that I know and allow the people that I admire and the people that inspire me on a daily basis to share their knowledge also and provide value. So I hope you guys really enjoy this, you guys and girls and women and everything and everybody in between. I hope you enjoy this. I really hope that you find the truth and you find the authenticity appealing, because that's what you're going to get. It's going to be real, it's going to be raw, and there's going to be times that I'm going to fuck up. But is what it is. Human at the end of the day is going to be ridiculous contradictions because that's just a part of life. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Aahliyah Amerat. I will go way deeper into my story and who I am and what I do just during the podcast, right? Just during all of the episodes that we do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from your feedback. I'm also looking really forward to hearing your suggestions and what you want to hear. I want to talk more about what you want to hear so we can provide the ultimate value. So with my love, with my gratitude, I'm saying good night, goodbye, good day, and we'll speak soon.